I was really glad I changed the intro back because we're back to the PGA preview week. We are back on track. We had and someone else is back as well. Welcome back, Dave.
What are you, Shady?
Were you in the Caribbean?
Dave Shady.
It's a little dark in here tonight.
Well, tonight we welcome.
Tonight we're
John
here with John. Yeah.
From Nikon, as you can see in the upper corner here, one of our favorite friends of the show. We all got our Nikon.
There we go. In my golf bag in my garage. In my car.
Steve's using it. That's why, right?
Yeah.
Well, my bag stays right by my studio, so when it comes out of the car after each round, also there's like a foot of snow on the ground where Dave.
Yeah, I got about a foot of snow here too. So.
Yeah.
I used it in the simulator this week when I played in the golf simulator, so gave me the same yardage every time. It was weird.
Love it. That's a new use case. We haven't heard that one yet.
Greg, you have used yours on the miniature golf course as well too.
I have used mine on the miniature golf course. It helped.
Yes.
Last year in April when I was in South Carolina going to the Masters, I used it on the mini golf course. Helped my son out reading greens. I was caddying for him.
Where's Bradley to say drink when you say things like that? So, John, first off, welcome. I know that when you're kind of new into this role, you've been with Nikon a while, but we will let's jump right in and let's talk Nikon Golf. So, for those who aren't familiar with Nikon, what does Nikon bring to the golf space?
Yeah, I think what really makes us unique in the golf space, right? A lot of people know Nikon because of our imaging products, right? It's kind of synonymous with cameras. People kind of first think there. But I think what really makes us unique in the golf space, we kind of have products for everybody, right? Going from the entry level all the way up to our stabilized flagship unit, but really kind of offering different specs for each to kind of match the need of the golfer. You know, I started playing golf when I was a little bit younger, more of like on a high school level. So we have like entry level units, more point and shoot, rangefinders, no slope. So they're approved for competition play, all the way up to kind of our Cool Shot 50i G2, which has a magnet. And then as we kind of get into our higher end or our flagship unit, we have our Pro 3 stabilized, which are the ones that you guys showed earlier in the intro.
So, John, you talked about your legacy in optics. My mother-in-law's been a professional photographer for over 45 years, and I think every camera she's ever owned has been a Nikon. But how did that expertise in the optics translate into your development of the golf rangefinders?
Yeah, well, first she sounds like a smart lady, so it sounds like she made some good choices.
Now let's just say her daughter married Dave, so we'll leave it at that.
Right,
John. I married way out of my pay grade, so I traded way up in the world.
So I would definitely say the first thing people think cameras, right? But long before Nikon ever made a camera, the first product we ever made were binoculars, about 30 years prior in 1917. So the company's been in business for over 100 years. And really, it started with our binoculars. And that same division that we started the company on the binocular route is the one still producing our rangefinders today. So you're talking about a company that's been in business for over 100 years, really focusing on optical excellence and really kind of improving on the technology we offer. We have like that unique perspective where we're able to gather some of the technology that we've developed to help photographers stay steady and then incorporate that technology into a golf rangefinder, which really makes sense ultimately, right? When you're out on the course, whether it's windy, you've had a lot of coffee in the morning, maybe somebody had a few too many drinks, things like that. Keeping that steady is extremely important when you're really trying to, lock in on a distance, right? Depending on if you're playing your friends, your buddies, your family, whoever it may be, or if you're playing for money, right? In competition play, it's super important to make sure that your distances are locked on. And starting with that optical excellence is really how we got to where we are today.
So speaking of that excellence and the technology, the accuracy, everything that you're kind of putting together there. What separates Nikon from other rangefinders on the market in all of those aspects?
I would say two of the things that I really look for or really look at is one, the stability and the stabilization technology. Because for us, when we talk about it, sometimes it's a little bit harder to visualize, right? Compared to when you actually touch and try and look through that rangefinder for the first time. You press that button closest to you on the top and then you hold it down, it really stabilizes the image for you. I think when you kind of put that in to perspective and with the accuracy that our unit provides with when you're up to 1,000 yards, it's going to give you a distance within 2 yards in terms of accuracy. You're really making sure that you're giving or putting yourself in the best position to hit the best shot, right? I think, we've kind of talked about it a little earlier when we were chatting offline that sometimes you get into the weeds and trying to pick a product based on the brand and things like that. I think what really we do well is get back to the basics and really provide an accurate product. It has a 5-year warranty, so if anything ever happens, you're protected, right? We want to take care of the people that are using our product, and then partnering with that accuracy, that stabilization, and then the hyper read technology, where you're getting a reading in 0.1 seconds. So you're able to kind of shoot different hazards and you're not taking a lot of time. So it's helping you really maintain your pace of play, which is huge right now, right? I think we were talking about it earlier. Sometimes you're waiting out there for a few minutes. I mean, play is important, especially on public courses, right?
So, I mean, speaking of waiting, we're going to take a break here real quick and pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
Ready to take your game to the next level? Desert Fox Golf's collegiate gear is growing fast, with over 25 universities and counting. Show off your favorite team on the course with the Phone Caddy and DJ10 speaker, built for easy access for every round. Perfect for students, alumni, and college sports fans looking to show off their school spirit. Gear up today at desertfoxgolf.com.
So, John, one thing that I will say to what you were just talking about there is that technology. Steve and I were kind of talking this morning, and that's the one thing we love about this rangefinder is it's not gimmicky. It's not trying to have anything that's like, oh, this is the new flashy thing that's on here. It focuses on what you need in a rangefinder, which is accurate yardage quickly. And I think you said that perfectly with what you were saying right there. So that's why we love it.
So I do want to get to, we got a comment on Instagram, a friend of the show, somebody that I actually played golf with on Saturday, had never used your rangefinder. He's the Ocala golfer, good friend of ours. He and I played for the first time together on Saturday, and he said, I used Steve's rangefinder on Saturday and was so impressed by the clarity of the glass. How to become the next brand ambassador for Nikon.
Get in line.
Get in line. So, while we've got you, John, let's go through. I know you kind of hinted at them and talked about them. The current lineup of rangefinders and kind of what they're best suited for.
Yeah, so starting with kind of our entry level, our Cool Shot 20 and Cool Shot 20 IG3, they're more of point and shoot rangefinders, a black LCD display. So it's going to still give you those crystal clear optics that Nikon's known for, right, in that black display. Super lightweight though. So when I think of these rangefinders, I'm thinking of people that typically walk. Maybe they use a push cart, right? They're not looking for anything fancy. They're just trying to get out there. Maybe they're getting into golf, but they want to get a product that is going to kind of stand that test of time. I think sometimes what I see, with people I'm friendly with or something like that, they may try to just get into a rangefinder super quick, maybe something a little bit cheaper. I just need something that's going to work. Then they end up having 5 or 6 before, they turn around, they drop it once and it breaks or something like that. I think what really our Cool Shot 20Is and 20 G3 series does is it provides a unit that's going to really work. It's going to give you that lockdown quake. So when you hit the flag, it's going to give you a vibration. It's also going to give you 8 seconds continuous measurement. So if you're trying to scan maybe some water to your left, some hazards to your right, a bunker, things like that, it's perfect for you, especially if you're walking. When you step up to our Cool Shot 50i G2, it has an OLED display. So it's going to give you that red, clear view that you guys may be familiar with the Pro 3. It's great because if you're somebody who, like me, like I can only get out when I can get out, right? if you need to play twilight golf or something like that and the sun's starting to go down, that black display, sometimes it makes it a little bit harder to see the flag, or if you have some weather rolling in, things like that, that can really be beneficial. And the 50 IG2 has a magnet. When we designed our magnet, I think what we had in mind is that not everybody is in the fairway all the time, right? We like to say we're always in the fairway, but sometimes you hit it, into trees. There's some hazards, and you're going and you're bumping. How many times
I
have you
paid
been
for
in
the
the
whole
cart?
course.
Yeah, you like to see everything, right? So if you're driving through the trees and things or the woods and you hit a big bump, you want to make sure your rangefinder stays on there. And when we designed our 50 IG2, that's kind of what we had in mind: a strong magnet, make sure that it's not going to fall off or break or things like that. And then kind of stepping into our Pro 3, which we've mentioned, you still have that OLED display, but it has auto brightness adjust. So every time you use it, it's always that clear, bright red display. It has the hyper read, so it's giving you your distances in 0.1 second. And it has that image stabilization that we talked about. So hit that button closest to you, hold it down. It's going to really be steady on your distance or on whatever you're looking for. So it's a flag, and to confirm, it'll give you that green circle in the middle with a vibration.
And John, you mentioned the magnet and falling out of the cart. You forgot to mention people that leave their rangefinder in the cart.
Yeah,
Dave's known for leaving things in the cart and having to go back to a golf course days later to pick it up.
I've done it myself. I mean, I've done it myself, so I can't fault you. I've heard the best tip that I've heard is putting your keys in your rangefinder case, but sometimes people have the automatic; it still will open, and then they end up locking their keys in their trunk with their golf bag. So it's just something you got to remember, with your magnet.
You talked about optical clarity and stabilization for golfers with all the different models. How important is it, especially in tournament or pressure situations, to have that clarity and stabilization?
Yeah, I think it's, whatever you're playing, right? Even if you're playing your friend, I'm most competitive with my brothers, right? I have 4 brothers that play golf, and, every time I play with them, it's high pressure situation, every shot. So it's definitely important to make sure that your equipment's not letting you down, right? And, something like a rangefinder, I think we've all been in a situation where we shot the flag and we end up hitting something behind it, right? And then we're over the green. I think that's happened to everybody at least once in their life, right? So I think the importance of having something that stabilizes the image for you and make sure that the actual distance. So when you are playing in those big matches, whether you're playing for money, bragging rights, whatever it is, that you're going to hit the best shot you can. I think that's immensely important.
So when someone switches over to a Nikon rangefinder and they come back to you and start giving you feedback, what are they normally telling you, pros and cons, that they're seeing when they switch over to this amazing rangefinder?
Yeah, I'd say the first thing, and maybe you guys can attest to this as well, people are a little bit thrown off the first time they use it because the stabilization, it takes a minute or two to get used to, right? So I would say that's probably the most common thing we hear with pros and amateurs alike. After that, I think it's most commonly like, I've been leaning up against the cart for the last 2 years to try to shoot a distance because I can't keep my hand steady when I'm shooting, but now I can shoot the target with one hand. One story my dad is turning 80 this year, and I've played golf with him for the last 15 years or so. And always when rangefinders were coming out, I can't use that. I can't use that. And I finally have gotten him to try in the last 2 years to try to stabilize, and now he's getting into it a little bit more. I always say he's like trying to shoot my distances now, which I don't 100% trust him yet on my distances. I like that he's in on it, and I think it's cool to see that, it's part of the game, right? You get out of the cart, you don't want to rely on anybody else. You're able to shoot your distance, your target, and you're ready to kind of keep the pace of play going. So I think those are kind of the things I hear for sure.
The 3 of us all use the same rangefinder, and when we play together, all 3 of us will get up to get the yardage from the tee box at the same time.
Because we don't trust each other.
We don't trust each other. We know the other's going to lie to us on it. I got to see it myself. And like you said, the stabilization was the first thing when I saw that, like hands shaking, and it's like I could go like this, and that thing will lock on
Yep.
And it's amazing. That was the first thing that I noticed that really kind of threw me off. That, oh wait, I've seen this on cameras before, but to see it in a rangefinder, complete game changer.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, like, when we'll go to LPGA events as an official sponsor, caddies will come up to us, and some of them have been caddy 30, 40 years, and they've been using rangefinders for the last 20. So it's a little bit of an adjustment for them, but we just always try to hammer home that message, like, really just play with it for a round, and as you get used to it, you'll see it'll make your life a lot easier. It takes a lot of the human element out of it, in a sense.
So, we all have kids, and I know Steve and mine are about the same age. And, Greg mentioned, using his with ollies on the mini golf course. Like you said, we've all had other rangefinders. I had a different one in my bag that I'd given to my son. He only wants to use the Nikon one now as compared to the other one. So, it's just it's sitting actually under here at my desk right now, but the fact that my 11-year-old knows the difference between, your rangefinder and crappy rangefinders works out very well.
Kid.
Hey,
except for his mom and mother-in-law.
Before we continue, I do want to go down this road with some comments here on Instagram. First one, can my Nikon DSLR turn into a rangefinder? Trying to save some money. Next, same guy, went golfing. I'm looking to buy my first one after Christmas. Might be a Nikon. Dude, it needs to be a Nikon.
Not might be a Nikon. Has to be a Nikon.
Yeah, Wink, I'm telling you.
Yeah, we have promotions running through January 3rd. So if you're looking for after Christmas, I would try to take advantage up until January 3rd.
And then our friend Hayden Boutwell, he has $1 million idea for upsell potential for Nikon rangefinders, custom prescription viewfinders for blind folk like him. Hayden, just go to the eye doctor. You'll be better. And then it'll still be clearer. So you talked about the partnership with the LPGA Tour. And this summer I was in Ireland for the Open and saw your guys' logo everywhere. And you've got a partnership with the RNA for the Open and all of their majors and all of their events. How significant are these agreements for the brand with Nikon?
Yeah, I think it's immensely important for us to get our messaging out there in the golf world, right? I think a lot of times people see Nikon and they only think cameras, right? We've been at events, golf specific, where people will come up and say, oh, I thought, you guys were displaying cameras, or I didn't know you made these products, right? So as we lean into some of these bigger partnerships with the LPGA and, the RNA, it gives us that advantage of really getting in front of people that know the game of golf, right? Because we really do believe in our product, and just like you guys can attest to, it's about getting into people's hands, right? Once you give it a try, you're able to see the difference. So for us, really kind of getting awareness from those organizations that, people are going to these events because they're fans of the game of golf, right? If you're going to go to an LPGA event, you have some interest in the game of golf, right? Or if you're going to the Open, you're, for some reason or another, you've either played the game or you're a big fan. And I think the more we can kind of get our name out there with some of these bigger partnerships, the more we're able to really get our product in more people's hands. And the more we really believe that once people try it, they're going to make the switch.
Speaking of switch, we've talked about, you start with binoculars, and cameras. What does it mean from a Nikon perspective to be trusted at the highest levels of the game from the LPGA Tour and over at the RNA?
Yeah, I think it's pretty incredible, right? That when you're looking at our product, and I've been in product design meetings with our team in Japan all the way up to meeting with an LPGA player and they're giving us ideas, right? Every piece of feedback is valued on our side, right? We really appreciate the people that are using our product, the ones that are out there every day kind of like pushing it. And when you think about LPGA players, these are people who are out there making a living playing golf, right? And they're choosing to put our product in their bag. Same thing with players on the RNA, right? People that are partnered with the RNA. I think it's immensely important for us that many people who are out there doing this are choosing our product over us. And I think that's kind of the messaging we're really trying to push. And the more we kind of put the LPGA and getting more players using our product, just really creating that awareness around it and what we have to offer. And then in turn, getting more people to use our product. Because at the end of the day, we really do believe in it. We have a great warranty, and we have a product that is really going to help people do better. At the end of the day, it's about improving your game, right? And I think this is a huge part of that, right? And making sure you have the right distance is going to go a long way.
Hey, I've got a question on it, Greg. I got a quick question from Instagram I want to grab out. Landshark Golf, thank you for this one. How do people make the switch from all these GPS apps and go to a rangefinder?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times with GPS is you're able to gain multiple distances, right? You can see the front, back, and middle, right? Sometimes, but I think when you're out there and you really want to get a lay of the land, you sometimes have different hazards that aren't picked up on a GPS. I think the rangefinder really comes into play there, right? If you have water on the left, you have a bunker on the right-hand side, you want to see front, back, middle, some different distances. It's good to use your rangefinder to really kind of pinpoint some of those distances and have it in your back pocket, right? I've heard of people using both. Personally, I typically like to just use a rangefinder because you're able to kind of gather different distances at different times.
Well, like we always say on here, if you want the best rangefinder in the game of golf, look no further than Nikon and the Cool Shots Pro 3, the official rangefinder of the Golfing Dads, the LPGA Tour, and the R&A. So if you need that Christmas present, make sure you're looking for a Nikon rangefinder. Sorry, I had to plug that in here.
Right, and that order too, right? That's how we look at
it. Exactly. So we're talking here about the PGA Show. The PGA Show is always a big moment for golf brands, and it's a fun event, but it's work. It's out there getting your name out to the golfing industry. How does the show benefit Nikon and golf specifically?
Yeah, I love the PGA Show. Being someone who's played golf
we all
for most of their life, being someone who's played golf for most of your life, you walk in there, you're blown away, right? It's kind of hard to fathom everything that's going on, and the times I've been there have been to work, right? But there's definitely some times where I'm like, I wish I could walk around here and kind of see what's coming, right? But I think in terms of where we benefit is really getting that messaging out there, right? When we're at the PGA Show, people are stopping by the booth that run different clubs across the country, right? That work for different big box stores, that may be influencers. And the more we're able to kind of showcase our product and what it really does and how it benefits your user, and really looking through it and those clear optics that you see, we're able to really get people over to our brand and kind of convert it over to the Nikon family, right? I can't tell you how many deals that we've made in terms of getting some people set up in terms of like their shop, right? They started buying our product as a result. I can't tell you how many stores started carrying our product as a result. And we use it kind of as a touch base, right? To kind of check in with all our accounts, people that we're doing business with, and really kind of as a networking opportunity, right? The PGA Show is circled for everybody, right? If you're in the golf business, you're at the PGA Show, right? It's kind of one of those things that you're going to run into people, and it's really a good opportunity for us to build on some of the relationships we already have, but also to showcase our product for people who may not be familiar. Because even at the PGA Show, we'll have people walk by and say, Nikon, I didn't know you guys made golf rangefinders, right? But we take that as an opportunity. It's our opportunity to educate them and really show them how our product is benefiting the user, right?
So John, I got a deal for you. What we'll do is on either Wednesday or Thursday, Steve and I will stand in the booth so you can go walk around, and we'll sell as many rangefinders as we can for you.
Right,
for 30 minutes. We'll give you 30 minutes to sprint around. You got 30 minutes though. It's a big
I gotta walk around with you guys.
Around.
I mean, you guys got a bunch of stuff. If I'm trying to get some stuff, I think I walk around with you guys.
We might have to get Hunter back in the booth for the show and let you go walk around. So
you're more than welcome to walk around with us.
Yes. So
I'll be on the golf course.
Yeah, you will be. So really quick, the Ocala Golfer has chimed in again and said that Nikon needs to be the official rangefinder of the Ocala Golfer. And Wink Golfing says he supports this. I don't know. Let me ask you, I mean, you've been to the PGA Show, obviously. What are you most excited to showcase this year at the PGA Show?
Yeah, I love showcasing our Pro Stabilized rangefinder. I think you get the biggest wow factor from a consumer's point of view, right? When you're kind of walking maybe an influencer, a buyer, or just somebody in media, right, through the product. you kind of take a look, and we kind of do it in like a good, better, best, right? We'll take you through our entry level, then our 50i with the magnet, and then you kind of get to that stabilized, and you kind of have that wow factor, right? People are like, whoa, that's a little bit different, right? So I think when I look forward to kind of that show, that element is really what I enjoy the most, because you're showcasing how we're different, right? And I think at the end of the day, when people see something different that they haven't seen before and some technology that's really isn't out there, I think people really get blown away. And I think that's really what I look forward to the most.
You mentioned, how people are like, I didn't realize Nikon was in the golf or the rangefinder business. They know you as, a camera company, basically. So how important is it from a company standpoint or from a personal standpoint for yourself on that face-to-face interaction with attendees at like the PGA show?
Yeah, I think it's immensely important for us as a brand, right? Because we're out here activating at different events, but the more we're able to get in front of people that are in that golf space and let them know, hey, we're here, we're a player in this space, it only is going to benefit our brand, right? And the more we're able to have these conversations and show people, hey, we're not going away, right? I think one thing you'll know about like our team, we're very passionate about what we do and our product. We have a lot of belief in our product, the technology, and kind of what it does for the people that use it, right? The end result of what you get from using our product. And I think when we kind of get those one-on-one interactions, whether it be a buyer, somebody in media, an influencer, whoever it is, right? I think it's our chance to really show them like, hey, we're not just doing this, slapping our name on a product, right? We've been in business for 100 years for a reason. We're here to make a difference in this space, right? And I think it's our opportunity to really show people that, show them who we are, show them what we have to offer, and really make them a believer in the brand.
So speaking of that, speaking of growth in over 100 years, have you seen any tangible growth and momentum as a result of going to the PGA show each year?
Yeah, for sure. We're able to make a lot of connections, right? We have a distributor that kind of services nationwide coverage to us to different green grass golf shops across the country that we made that relationship at the PGA show, right? We had no relationship with them prior. We didn't even know them prior, right? And we were able to kind of meet with them and develop a business relationship over the years where now they're selling our product to most stores, in terms of country clubs that carry our product, right? So that's one example. We've had many examples on our influencer side, right? With people that we've been able to meet and really showcase our product. But definitely just in terms of growth, as we've seen, we continue to go to the show. We've seen, sales grow year over year, and it's really been a positive trend for us. And we're excited to see what the future holds.
That's
Oh, that's
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, want to make sure that everybody knows, one, where they can find you, but two, where can they see you if Wink Golfing? Sorry, I'm going to ask this question because I know you won't be there. Where can they find you at the PGA show? So
we'll be at booth 2265 at the PGA show. We'll have a big Nikon Golf booth with some of our golf rangefinders set up where you can come train or test them out. We also have some of our binoculars out there, so some of our earliest models that you will be able to kind of look at, and some of our most up-to-date too, right? So you can kind of see a little bit of the difference of the lineup that we have to offer now. In terms of buying our product, you can get it on NikonUSA.com, which is our own website, but Amazon, Dick's Sporting Goods, PGA Tour Superstore, Golf Galaxy, really any big box golf shop will have our product, and we partner with them all.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, John, thank you so much for being here, and we
Yes.
look forward to seeing you at the show.
Yeah, guys, definitly stop by. And Dave,
We'll
sorry
come
we'll
by.
miss you, right? But
Yeah.
I'll be playing golf, just not at the. I just won't be at the show.
Well, if the weather's nice, Dave,
around him
just for your
sometime
sake,
too.
okay?
Maybe that week we'll try to get around him.
Yeah, there we go. Definitely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Cheers, John.
Thanks, John.
I mean, those rangefinders are unbelievable. Like we said before, you can get rangefinders that have different things, have different like flashy things on them, but the main thing you want is that yardage and to get it quick and accurate. And the OLED, the stabilization on the Nikon rangefinder is unmatched, in my opinion. So
yeah,
but
no. All right. So
in my dark space here today.
as we continue, Bridgestone Mindset, the official golf ball of the golfing dads. Play smarter with Bridgestone Mindset golf balls, designed to help you focus on the shot, not the swing. Pick your mindset, trust it, and swing free with Bridgestone. What is this?
I figured I had to add some music to your read tonight.
Wow.
Hey, speaking of the Bridgestone Mindset.
So, by the way, what's up? Desert Fox Golf is watching tonight.
Hey, do you guys have one of these from Bridgestone?
Dave.
Oh, we lost Dave.
One of those?
That's a cease and desist letter if anyone can't read that.
Yeah, I know, probably. I didn't read it too closely. Yeah.
So I've got two topics I want to talk about here as we end the show. And the first topic is the announcement that was made yesterday, and I will give credit where credit is due. It was on the announcement was made on Pat McAfee show regarding Scottie Scheffler winning his 4th straight Player of the Year, the first person to do that since some guy named Tiger.
Congratulations, Scottie.
So there's been a lot of talk online, and I don't think it's warranted, but I want to throw it to you, where there are some people that are upset that Rory McIlroy did not win Player of the Year.
So, Steve, we talked about this earlier, and I said, why would you think that Rory would be Player of the Year? And your comment to me was people think because he won the Grand Slam finally that he should be Player of the Year. Well, the Grand Slam is not something he did over the course of this year. He won the Masters, one tournament of the Grand Slam. So it's not a Player of the Year thing, whereas Scottie won 2 majors this year.
He won, and okay, I'll give him that. Rory also won the Players.
No, I'm not saying that he didn't win other events.
He won.
But when you won
an elevated event at Pebble Beach.
Slam, no, I get that. But when you're saying that he won the Grand Slam isn't over this year. The Grand Slam is over the course of what? It took him 15 years to do it.
11 years.
Okay, 11.
Yeah.
So it's not that, and I'm not downplaying that. That is a major accomplishment for what he did. But I do not think it deserves Player of the Year over what Scottie did this year, last year, the year before that. So, Dave, what are your thoughts on, is it warranted that Scottie won, or are you a Rory McIlroy fan and think Rory should have won?
No, Rory shouldn't have won. Rory was Player of the week of the Masters. And
and you almost gave it away.
That's also true.
Yeah, I think Rory had battled a lot of his own demons this year, personally and professionally, with a lot of things that he had going on. I think on a professional standpoint, he just missed too many tournaments to even be in consideration for Player of the Year, skipping out on elevated events. That's his prerogative. He's going to pay the fine and do that and focus on where he needs to be as a person. Great for Rory. I think week in and week out, whether Scottie won or not, Scottie could be in 20th place and you could still be afraid of him. I think if Rory was in 20th place, you're not afraid of Rory being in 20th place and coming back on the weekend.
That is a beautiful point, Dave, is that it's that fear, I think, that makes you the GOAT versus not the GOAT, is people fear you. And I think that you're right. If Scottie's in 20th place, I'm still looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Did Dave freeze?
Afraid, even if Rory is leading, you're more afraid if Rory is leading than if Rory is, in the top 5, because he could miss, 3-foot putts on the same hole and be gone.
Yeah, that's really true. And that you don't feel that with Scottie. Scottie plays very ho-hum golf. Nothing's exciting about it, but he's going to wear you down and catch up.
Yep.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Scottie led the tour in 28 statistical categories this year, including scoring average in all 4 rounds on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Scottie had one event where he finished outside the top 20. Rory led the tour in 4 different categories this year in statistical categories. So
it's not even close.
No, it's not even close.
Yeah. Like,
no, not even
that's
close.
Really what you have to look at here is, I'm not downplaying what Rory did this year. Rory was great this year, but if Scottie wasn't there, yeah, Rory definitely. But
I don't even know if Rory would have been my second choice as player of the year.
Who would be your second choice? Ricky Fowler, who you try to pick all the time?
Yes, I would take Ricky.
Sorry, I had to go there.
Oh, Greg, that was great.
Yeah.
Ben Griffin? Who are you taking, Ben? With 3 wins?
Ben would be a nice...
No.
Ben would...
No. Keegan would be my second choice.
Keegan would probably be my second choice, yes.
All right, before we get into the last topic here...
Go down that rabbit hole. Go ahead. Opened it up.
I love Keegan. but no. Before we get in, we've got one more topic we need to talk about. Upgrade your tee game with the new Cobra Golf DS Adapt driver. Fully adjustable, crazy fast, and built to dial in your perfect ball flight. Take control with the Cobra DS Adapt. Visit Cobra Golf today to find out more.
Hey, it's a cheat code, that driver, so.
It is.
Oh, yes. Cheers, Bradley.
Hey, Bradley, congratulations on a good week in fantasy football this week. Hopefully this will be your year. You lost out the last 2, but I think this year it could be your year this year.
Can the commissioner override any trades that we need to make for anybody else there?
We can make all the trades we want. I'll push anything through.
Yeah.
I sent you guys a video from Gary Williams, 5 Clubs. He was interviewing the CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods. And he was talking about the fact that Gary asked him something to the effect of, what's the one thing you're most afraid of right now in the golf industry, in the golf space? And he said the fact that drivers are going to cost anywhere from $649 to $699 in 2026.
That's not a big difference.
Yeah, but you want to go down this rabbit hole of golf clubs, in my opinion, are getting too expensive. But to be honest, it's not just golf clubs. It's everything in society that is getting too expensive lately. So I don't blame the golf industry for what they're doing. I do think that if you're looking for cheaper golf clubs, there's options out there like buying used clubs. I think that you don't need to upgrade every year that something new comes out to a driver or to irons or to that. I mean, I've been using the same irons for years. I love the driver that I have now, and it's one of the more affordable ones on the market. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's one of the best ones on the market in that Cobra DS Adapt. But I do think this is becoming more of a problem. And someone was asking me about what clubs am I going to get my son, and we had Upswing on here a few weeks ago, and I said I'm going with Upswing for my son's clubs because of the adjustability that it grows with them. I don't have to trade something in. I don't have to I can just adjust the shaft on there and it grows with him. And then eventually he'll get it, because we all know, we all have kids. We all have boys too, which is the crazy part about this. And they go through clothing and sports equipment and all of that stuff so quickly. They either grow out of it or wear out of it. And having something like that, I think, is a game changer for the industry. And I think the industry needs to look at that, needs to look at finding ways to make a good product. Don't make a cheap product, like cheap quality, just to give yourself more bottom line, but find a way to make it more affordable to the everyday golfer and have maybe different levels of lines like they've tried to do in the past. I don't think it's worked. I just think they need to find the way to market the playability of their products to the right people at the right price. And I'm hoping we see a lot of that at the PGA Show.
Greg, just really quick, Dave, comments from social media on this. This is from Desert Fox Golf. Creates an opportunity coming from the bottom to disrupt the market, and then value.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, there comes a point in time where you're trying to get people into the game where it's, you know, people in our age, not necessarily the three of us, but people in our age demographic that have that disposable income, whether it's golf or, you know, seeing rock bands that are slowly aging out and, you know, the Rolling Stones 50th goodbye tour, you know, things like that, where they can go out and do those things. But for us still as in that demographic, but with younger kids, you know, trying to get them involved in the game of golf and finding something affordable where we've talked about, you know, Upswing. We've had McGregor Golf on here years ago that also makes, you know, some kids clubs, but those they didn't grow, you know, with them. It's an ideal starter set, you know, there, but having something especially for the kids like Upswing is fantastic, but finding that price point where it's, you know, for the everyday golfer, the average golfer, the guys that have way too much money that are going to go out and buy a new driver every single time it comes out, and you know your CEO base, there's something in there, you know, for everybody. You just need to find what works for you, not necessarily what works for your pocketbook.
Well, I think if you find a set of clubs or a range of products that are priced towards that young up and coming out of college student kind of range, like maybe in college, just out of college, that junior, senior, I think if you can find something that's priced right for them and keeps them in the game and keeps them interested in the game, that would be great for the game. Because when you get to our age and you get older, and like even our parents' age, when they buy clubs because they have money as well, like you can afford it as you get older, but have something that you can get into that's just as nice. Might not be the top of the line that's there. I think about it when we played like rec softball. I'm not buying top of the line bats that like professional softball players and baseball players are using. I'm buying ones that I can afford because I'm playing at that level that still perform pretty decently. And then if I got more money, I would buy a better bat. I think that's a market that you could really tap into and really make a good profit off of.
Yeah.
All right. One last topic before we go. Kyle Porter put on I don't know if it was Facebook or X. What is your hottest golf take right now? Can be massive, minuscule, or anything in between. Only rule, you kind of have to believe it, but also be at least a bit scared to say it out loud.
Okay. So I think that right now, the social media golfer is going to kind of blow up. That invitational that Barstool did, that what Bob Does Sports does, what Paige Spiranek has been doing, just not also in the invitational, but that kind of social media, kind of what we do here from a news aspect, but more on the course stuff. I think people are starting to watch from a younger generation and up into our generation as well. They're watching that. And I think that's what's going to actually beat LIV, not the PGA Tour. I don't think the PGA Tour is going anywhere. I think but I think that sort of social media aspect is what's going to be that kind of alternative to the PGA Tour that would help also lead you into watching the PGA Tour. I think that's going to be a big thing to watch out over the next few years.
Dave?
I'm going to say the weird thing out loud here. Top Golf is going to make a comeback.
Oh! Wow!
Show your work. Show your work.
Wow! That is a hot take.
I think Top Golf getting out from underneath the Callaway brand and they can get back to focusing on just out there having fun at a driving range and really getting back to, let's cut back from a 3 or 4 page food menu. Give me some bar snacks, give me a burger, give me a good beer list and a Bloody Mary in the morning and an old fashioned at night. I'll be pretty happy. And I really think Top Golf refocusing their efforts and their energy just on family friendly, great place to come out for an hour or two. Topgolf is making a comeback.
So I'm going to ask you this, Dave. Hold on, I'm going to ask Dave the question on the Topgolf thing. What's one thing besides the food and everything that you think they need to change immediately, besides getting out of something, that would help them move forward?
Bringing their price point down.
Bingo. There you go. That's what I was hoping you would say.
Bring it down, make it a little bit more affordable for a family of, let's call it a family of average family of 4 to go out there with mom, dad, and 2 kids, and to go out there hour and a half, and with food and golf, and keep it under, say, $100 for the night.
Yeah.
That is a perfect thing, because as a dad, as we all are, we are the golfing dads after all. Mm-hmm. That's something I would look forward to, and I would get my wife, who's not a golfer, she would go to something like that and have fun if it had a better price point. Yep. I think that's the biggest thing they need to do, Dave. I think you hit one out of the park there.
Calling it now.
All right, Steve, what's yours?
Comment really quick from Desert Fox. Grass League team was just purchased for $1 million. Tip of the iceberg, and have to agree with Greg. And then
as you should.
Dave, Topgolf is toast unless they can change their price structure. Dave's list of changes is a start, but they have to address pricing and drive interest. I'm going to read to you what I wrote. The powers that be in the game of golf don't want
you can read.
I know.
My name is Jeff.
Let's start again here, Steve. We won't hit around.
The powers that be in golf don't want to grow the game at all. They're content with where it is right now, but they have to say the grow the game speak because it sounds good.
Steve, that's a horse you've been on for a long time.
Yeah.
I know.
It's nothing.
It's not really a hot take.
It is when you post it online, and all of a sudden, our friend Tyler Arnold shows Jon Stewart eating popcorn. Like, oh boy, you went there.
Well, that's the thing, is if you're going to grow the game of golf, grow the game of golf. And I think, to be honest, all 3 of what we just proposed here, I think if you do all 3 of those things, you will grow the game of golf.
Yeah.
I think if you look at that social media aspect, if you look at actually growing the game, and if you take that Topgolf and get those families involved in that, like, hey, here's a family night out, because you're not going to take a family night out and play 18 holes of golf. It's too dark, and it's just not going to happen. So if you do those things, you're going to get people interested in the game, and you're going to have that kind of grassroots thing keep growing. So, all right, well, thank you to John from Nikon for coming on tonight and talking rangefinders. Once again, if you are looking for a rangefinder, look no further, thank you, Dave, than Nikon rangefinders. They have the most accurate and most visually appealing, I'm just going to say it, rangefinders on the market. With that, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I'm really fortunate, man. I have the opportunity to build something that's...
And remember, folks, use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at Desert Fox Golf. Also use code GolfingDads to get 15% off your order at golfish.com. Use code GolfingDads to get 20% off your order at Jacket Sunscreen. And use the Golfing Dads Tavern to get 5% off your order at FlightScope.